I'm real. I'm real. I'm really, really real. The first time I ever heard those lyrics, I was working at Target in late 2012, and I overheard a girl who worked with me. I don't know her name, never talked to her, but I could hear on her headphones that she was listening to it. And at the time, the first way I took the lyric was to mean like, I'm real, like I'm really about that life. Because where I'm from, Virginia, when people say I'm real, that's usually what they mean. Or if they're accusing someone of not being real, they're saying you are not really about the things you say that you are about. You can be real and not be real, but you can also be doubly fake. So to say I'm real, I'm really, really real, you're saying three different things actually. You're saying I'm real as in I'm true to what I say. You're saying I'm real as in I'm really about that life. And you're also saying I'm real as in I really exist. Welcome to the Always Positive Music Review Show, hosted by not a French professor at all, somewhere in Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm Trixie the Golden Witch, and I just wanted to do a ripoff of the way Professor Sky starts his videos. And let's see if I can keep talking so I don't have to edit it just like Professor Sky. So, way back when Kendrick Lamar put out this album, there was a review by Anthony Fantano. And that was the first Fantano review that got me interested in him as a critic. The way I got into the album itself is that a friend of mine had posted Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe on Facebook. And when I heard that song, and I heard lyrics like, I can feel your energy from 2 planets away, or you to me is painless, you don't know what pain is, how can I paint this picture when the colorblind is hanging with you, all that kind of stuff, I was like, whoa, who is this? Who is this master lyricist, and what is he doing in the hip-hop genre, which at the time I did not know had a bunch of lyricists in it, you know? I'd grown up mostly listening to rock and metal music, and the sort of bleeding poetry of Circle Takes the Square had been my favorite lyrics. So when I heard something comparable to that, almost equally as schizophrenic is what I'm trying to say, coming out of Kendrick Lamar, I got interested. And Fantano's breakdown of that album made me a fan of him, but there's one thing I always disagreed about, and it's his assessment of the real hook, that it didn't need to be that repetitive. And I wouldn't have brought this up now if not for the fact that a newer channel that I follow, Therapy, also just did a full breakdown of the whole album and also came down on this part especially as compared to everything else. And to me, this is one of the clearest, most meaningful artistic statements on the album. It's what brings the whole thing home to me. Like, it is the home plate return moment of the album is I'm real, I'm really, really real. Because what I think maybe those two people haven't experienced, or if they have, they're just not thinking about how it connects to this, is like actually not knowing if you are real. You know, like the experience of it's a psychological condition with a name. I don't remember the name of it, but there's plenty of people out there who are not really convinced that they are real and that reality is real. Me personally, I don't think it matters either way, but you know, I'm prefer to think that I'm real and I exist because it makes things easier. You know, like doubting it doesn't really get you anywhere. But that doesn't mean that I've never had question about it. You know, like, am I real? Is reality real? You know, you got this idiot Elon Musk telling us it's not, like, objectively in his mind. I don't know why he thinks he knows anything at all ever, but hopefully he dies of ass cancer soon. So I understand the lyric. I understand that Kendrick is somebody who does past life progression and forgets who he literally is for God knows how long at a time. It fucked him up. We know that. You know, and what really brought this into my head, actually, was today listening to Little Sims, listening to No Thank You. I had never heard this album before, so it was recommended by Oh, Professor Sky was talking to another YouTuber who's from the UK who I'd never heard of until that particular conversation. But he said that his favorite Little Sims album was No Thank You. So I was listening to that, and there was a lot of bars about reaffirming the fact that you are in fact real and do in fact exist. And it sprinkled a lot more over the course of the album. But it got me thinking about the I'm Real hook, because that whole song is just affirmations. It's mostly about, like, just accepting that everything about you is true, and you have to just deal with that. The line that always stuck out to me the most in the song is, "You love beef," because obviously it means two different things. Contextually to the set of bars it appears in, it sounds like he's talking about food, but you know he also means beef as in having beef. Obviously he loves beef more than almost anybody else on the planet. And I relate on both levels. You know, my parents are both vegan, so I understand the moral quandary of being somebody who eats beef and loves cows to death. I love cows so much, also love eating them, and it's something that I could decide to feel guilty about and to try to do something about, but I also intellectually am fully aware that there is nothing I personally can do. Like, I understand that I could stop eating beef and, you know, I wouldn't feel better about myself for it, so it wouldn't mean anything to me. It wouldn't change the way I felt. It wouldn't feel like I was doing something to society or like saving a cow or whatever. Like, I don't believe that I would be doing anything. So, like, so with Kendrick, I see in him that level of saying, like, well, I want to be this ultimate savior saint. I want to be all things altruistic, but I also have to acknowledge, like, yeah, but I love beef, and, like, I am who I am, and I'm real. I'm really, really real, you know? So that's what I think the song is saying. That's why I think the hook works. I do think it being repetitive is part of the point. I think the song itself being repetitive is part of the point. The whole thing kind of sounds like a heartbeat, you know? It sounds like it is just you, like, walking through life, reminding yourself, I'm real, I love beef, I love when love hurts. But what love got to do with it if I don't love myself? You know, gotta love myself. That's the core of the song. I'm real. I love myself. I believe in myself. I believe that I'm real. I believe I really exist. And it takes a lot. You have to keep doing it, you know? The song's like 6.5 or 7 minutes long, and it never lets up on being the same thing the whole way through, because guess what? Sometimes it does take that much reaffirmation. Sometimes when you're stocking shelves at Target, and you are literally not capable of thinking because you are being pushed to work as fast as you can and constantly reminded of the time constraints, and so you just don't have any space in your brain to consider your own emotions or thoughts or what you might be going through in your day, it can be nice to just repetitively have someone reminding you, I'm real, I'm really, really real, I really exist, I'm not a fucking robot that stocks shelves at a Target, I'm a real human. All right, I can stop hitting myself now. We gone over 8 minutes. Good job, everybody.